You can call it karma. You can call it the legal system getting one right. But today, the name of the Proud Boys and all the rights associated with it is owned by the African Methodist Church that the Proud Boys vandalized back in 2020. My name is Dina Sayegh Doll for the Legal AF channel. Let's break this down. So the church filed a lawsuit over this nighttime march that the Proud Boys conducted in 2020. It was basically the Proud Boys going through D.C., announcing ahead of time that they were going to, have this hateful rhetoric and scaring people and targeting Black Lives Matter signs that were up there. And so this is what the Methodist Church said happened to them. This is based on their filing of what they said happened to them. So they said that in December 12th, 2020, the Proud Boys defendants trespassed on the church's property. They climbed over this fence, trespassed on the church's property during a night march through downtown Washington, D.C., and tore down and destroyed a large and prominently displayed Black Lives Matter sign that was owned by the church. Now, the church is the Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church in Washington, D.C. So they decided to sue the Proud Boys January 4th, 2021. And in that complaint, they allege common law claims of conversion, trespass to realty, and statutory claims of bias-related conspiracy, theft, defacement of private property under the Bias-Related Crimes Act, intentional damage or destruction of religious property under the Freedom of Access to Clinics Entrances Act, and then added amended complaint, adding some federal violations. So they had a hearing, introduced evidence, and the judge at the time the judge found, quote, the hateful and overtly racist conduct exhibited by the defendants on December 12th, 2020 was repugnant not only to the laws relied on by the church, but to every norm of a civilized community. A substantial award of punitive damages is essential to punish the defendants for their actions and to deter them from behaving this way again. Not surprising, that language from the rebuke from the judge when we are talking about the Proud Boys who have as their pride to, threaten, intimidate, racially and otherwise. And so not a surprise for the judge to come out so hard against the Proud Boys and for the evidence shown at that hearing. So this order was issued June of 2023. And surprise, surprise, the Proud Boys never paid up. So then the church had to go again to try to enforce the order. And so they had this default judgment that the church won, saying that they are owed money, $2.8 million. Exactly, $2.8 million. The punitive is what made that so large, because the punitive, as we know, there's something called compensatory damages, which just reimburses you for the actual damages that were caused. And then punitive is in order to try to deter you or frankly others from doing the same thing. And so the judge found, they're not remorseful. This is part of their DNA. They need a high punitive damages award. So the church was awarded $2.8 million total, and the Proud Boys never paid up. So sure enough, the only asset that they own is their name. And so here you have Enrique Tarrio, who was just pardoned by Trump, probably feeling as if he is, on a win. In his bio on X, he says that he's an unapologetic seditionist. He's the leader of the notorious Proud Boys. Well, as it turns out, the Proud Boys name, again, karma, whatever you want to call it, it feels like karma. That Proud Boy name that he feels so proud of is now owned by the church. And the order that was just issued, I will read from that so you can see exactly what it says. It says that All of the Proud Boys' interests in the trademark Proud Boys formally registered with the Patent and Trademark Office because they had actually registered this as a trademark and a patent. And you only do that if you plan on making money from it. That's the only reason why you would ever patent or trademark your name, really, is because you want to make money off of it. You don't want anybody else to use it. So they had done this. They had filed this trademark on their name. And so according to this judgment now, this order, that trademark in the Proud Boys is going to be transferred to the Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church. And not only that, but the defendant Proud Boys and all its successors and all its assignees, all of its representatives, any other person acting in concert or coordination with them are permanently enjoined, which means they are permanently enjoined from selling, transferring, disposing of, or licensing the trademark Proud Boys without the consent of the plaintiff, Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church, or the approval of the court, which means that if now Enrique Tarrio, now that he's pardoned, now that he feels like he's on a win, wants to sell t-shirts, sell hats, produce signage for future rallies, make money essentially off his rampages, the fear, the insurrection, they can't do it. They cannot use the Proud Boys name in licensing in any matter or selling it or transferring it without the permission of that church that they so racially and hatefully targeted. That church now owns the Proud Boys in a very important way, because without money coming in, it is hard to be sustainable. It's hard to produce, to recruit. It's hard to produce the ads. It's hard to pay for people to go show up at, state capitals and create havoc. That all takes money. And they have just taken away a very important way for them to make money, that they would be able to use their name and have notoriety. And, now that Trump did this. And so this coming at such a crucial time, stopping them in their tracks, a really good example of the legal system, showing not only, making this church whole for what they had gone through, but frankly, also preventing the Proud Boys from making money, as we sure that they were kind of gearing up to do. My name is Dina Sayegh Doll with the Legal AF channel. We'll definitely keep on breaking down all these developments as they come. Be sure and free subscribe to get the latest videos.
In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.